Good morning. My name is Sophie Twarkowski, and I will be the worship associate this morning at this virtual Wild and Precious Life Sunday service. I use the pronouns she and hers. Welcome to Unitarian Society of New Haven. Our Sunday service today is being held virtually due to our winter weather conditions in New England. I am glad that you have joined us from the comfort of your home. We are a multi-generational faith community that helps us build a UU identity at our various stages of development. We come together this morning benefiting from a community that is strengthened by our diversity of thought, life experience, culture, lifestyle, belief, and aspirations. USNH is a faith community committed to equity, inclusion, and social justice. It serves as a beacon of hope, inspiring us to treat each other and those in the greater community with compassion and respect. Our faith in action challenges us to rise up to the social justice challenges that we recognize by taking actions on those issues that support our values. We bring all that we are to this morning, knowing that our whole selves are welcome here. Before we join together in today's service, I have several announcements to highlight. For a complete listing, please refer to USNH newsletter. The YRUU Group fundraiser scheduled for today has been postponed to next week. This is a fundraiser that helped them to support their annual trip to Star Island. Please support them on next Sunday, February the 1st. Buddy exchanges continue through February. Even though we are missing the first day this week, participants should know that they can communicate with their buddies by checking the bags that are on the social hall bulletin board starting next week. Connect will be holding their delegate assembly meeting next Sunday, February 1st at our Hamden neighbor, Spring Glen United Congregational Church, 1825 Whitney Avenue at 4 p.m. Connect is Congregations Organized for a New Connecticut. This is a 40-plus group of diverse faith communities using their collective power to act on social justice issues. I encourage you to attend and learn how you can be supportive of Connect's work. Our annual chocolate auction scheduled for February 8th, which is in 2 weeks after the service. Please donate your culinary treats to be auctioned off, and definitely attend the auction to purchase the lovely treats that are being provided. The snow date will be February 15th. The Martin Luther King service that was rescheduled from last week's closing, Moral Regeneration, will be held on Sunday, February 1st. As we begin today's service, put your Zoom on mute, let go of distractions, worries, and mental clutter. Take a deep breath and settle in for our worship service.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Dean, Ministerial Intern for USNH. Our chalice lighting today will be read, a poem by Mary Oliver, A Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day long. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
are the things I believe in. I believe in doing things you're not sure you can do. I believe in trying new things. I believe that you can be whoever you want to be. I believe that making art and music makes the world a better place. I believe that I can stand up for myself and others. I believe that sometimes people need help. In my one wild and precious life, I will do things I'm not sure I can do. Right now, I'm afraid of heights, but one day I will take a plane to Paris. Try new things. Right now, people think that baseball is only for boys, but one day I will be a baseball player. Become who I want to be. Right now, I'm 7 years old, but one day I will become a nurse. Create art and music. Right now, I'm learning, but one day I will paint beautiful pictures. Stand up for myself and others. Right? If someone is being mean or unfair, I will tell them to stop. Help people who need it. I will always help people who need me.
Good morning. I'm Dylan Groff. I'm a 17-year-old senior in high school, and my pronouns are he, him. When I hear the question, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life, I immediately don't really know how to respond. What are my goals? Well, I hope to do well on my upcoming AP Literature and AP Psychology midterms. I hope to get my driver's license within the next few months. And I'm looking forward to graduating high school this June and heading off to college next year. But are these goals all I want to do with my life? No, these are just short-term goals. But up until this point, these sorts of goals have defined my life. Do the homework, study for the test, finish the group project due tonight. It seems like almost all high schoolers, except for my group mates apparently, have these same goals. But these goals aren't my goals. They were designed by someone else and feel almost obligatory to me. When I'm asked what I plan to do with my life, I feel like I need to think bigger. Now, from what I've heard, going to college will bring a new level of independence to my life. Yes, there will still be classes, homework, and deadlines, but more than ever, I'll be the one choosing what I spend my time on. That freedom is exciting. I'll be able to dive deeper into the topics I really care about, like math, physics, literature, and philosophy. But this freedom is also scary for me. For one, I have to choose a major. For years, I've been planning on doing computer science. I've always played video games too much, and that has led to a genuine interest in computers. Software engineering is something I can imagine myself doing as a career. However, that plan has kind of been thrown into question ever since some software engineers decided to create ChatGPT and made everyone ask whether software engineers are still necessary. Regardless, I still expect to major in computer science, and I guess just pray that writing code is still a thing humans do in 4 years. But is having a successful career all I want to do with my life? No, that's just one part of it. Something else that I hope to expand in my life is the number of close relationships I have. As of now, I have a few friends I would consider close. Spending time with these friends, making jokes, playing games, and just talking about life have been some of the most enjoyable experiences I've had. Because of this, I've come to believe that human connection is one of the most important parts of life. I am looking forward to making new friends and forming deeper connections as I move on to this next stage of my life. To conclude, even though I don't have a clear, immutable path to follow for the rest of my life, I do know one thing. I want to be happy. Now, that might sound a bit selfish or hedonistic at first, but happiness isn't something that exists in isolation. helping others, doing good for the world, and building real connections with people are all things that make both myself and others happier. So when I answer the question, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? I don't think in terms of a perfectly mapped out career path or bucket list of achievements to complete. Rather, I think about accepting uncertainty and taking life as it comes. That doesn't mean I never make plans, it's just that I don't have all the answers right now, and maybe I never will. But that's okay. I just need to keep going and make sure I pay attention to what truly makes me happy and what makes my life feel meaningful. Thank you.
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make a bridge or wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The way we spend, the way we share, who are the rich or poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, whose fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call. We enter into a time of quiet shared reflection and meditation with words from Sophia Lyon-Fahs. Many of the past generation and many of today have found three abiding values in prayer: the quiet meditation on life, the reaching out toward the universal and the infinite, and the courageous facing of one's profoundest wishes. Let parents sense and share with their children the glory and mystery of everyday things. Let them look with sympathy upon humanity's age-long dilemmas. Let no questions be taboo. The next generation, after all, can ill afford to have their deepest values deleted from the book of life. We look to each of today's speakers for wisdom, humor, humility. As they answer a question in earnest, it's one of many questions that echo within our inmost selves each and every day. What is it you plan to do? How will you know if and when you're doing it right? Will the doing of what you are called to do be worthy? Will it bring wisdom worth sharing? We have contemplated and wrestled with these questions for thousands of years, and will continue to do so in countless years to come. So we look to sources as fresh as the faces of today's speakers, and as ancient as the Mesopotamian thinkers, who in the Jewish scriptures brought forth these words from Proverbs 8, spoken from the perspective of wisdom itself. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? At the highest point along the way where the paths meet, she takes her stand. Beside the gate leading into the city, at the entrance she cries out, "To you, O people, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, set your hearts on it. Listen, for I have trustworthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true, for my lips detest wickedness. All the words of my mouth are just. None of them is crooked or perverse. To the discerning, all of them are right. And they are upright to those who have found knowledge. Choose my instruction instead of silver. Choose knowledge rather than gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Now for us, here in this welcome, accepting, loving sanctuary, we fill the vast space in between the imperfections that we carry and the biblical expectations of the world, of wisdom's absolute truth and weighty knowledge, as expressed in that proverb. As Unitarian Universalists, we welcome knowledge, we strive for wisdom, but we also accept that omniscience is beyond our world and our capability. In this time of silent reflection, we welcome all that can be learned and understand our limitations, which keep our minds open and save us from any expectation of perfection. Let us keep silence together.
Every week, we lift up the spiritual value of generosity by asking you to support the ministries of this congregation. We are an active faith community, both within USNH and in the community. The need for your ongoing support is important. From your home, you can easily text GIVE to 203-769-9299 or go to the USNH website to make an offering gift. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. An offertory reading. Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream.
Good morning and hello. My name is Eric Versina Dio, and my pronouns are he and him. I'd like to begin by thanking Jesse for offering me this opportunity to speak, and everyone else here for putting up with me for the next few minutes. I've cut my teeth speaking in front of congregations and collectives of individuals under the guidance of the 12 Commandments and the 10 Steps, or perhaps I've mixed those numbers up a bit. It's something like that. But this opportunity is unique and freeing and has allowed me to do a great deal of self-reflection and perhaps just a little undue self-flagellation. As an almost brand new member of USNH, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't at least a little nervous to talk about myself in front of everyone. But let's get into it. What am I doing with my one wild and precious life? I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a professor, a teacher, I'm a chiropractor, but please don't worry, don't hold that against me. I'm not one of those really weird ones. I'm a son and a brother and a friend and so many other things. different hats and masks, different personas and responsibilities, like many of you here listening and watching, being constantly pulled in this direction and that. It's easy to get caught up in the monotony of life, which is punctuated by periods of stress and anxiety. I'd like everyone to just take a moment to be quiet, be present, be somewhere you've never been and will never return to, this moment in time. You, I, we are fortunate to be where we are today, despite all the trials and tribulations we may have experienced. Latching on to just that little bit of gratitude that you could possibly muster is often the difference between having a good day, week, month, year, or bad one. But how did I get here? Why am I grateful? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Are these questions even answerable? Well, darn it, I don't know. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. I was raised in upstate New York under tenuous and trying circumstances before moving to Florida during grade school, and then learning in a single-parent household how to care for my younger sister and myself in situations no preteen should have to deal with. It was here that I learned to compartmentalize, hide, and create a facade of cheer and goodwill. I found bits and pieces of happiness in my studies, sports, even in religion on occasion. My grandfather, being a Methodist minister, did little to belay my family's journey through nearly every Christian denomination and non-denomination in the state of Florida. I even became an altar boy at an Episcopal church for a few years before journeying to college and engaging in the militantly atheistic musings that so many of my fellow millennials seem to have experienced at one time or another. It took a life-changing experience, or rather numerous small life-changing experiences, in order for me to re-engage in any sort of spiritual or innately fulfilling endeavor. These experiences brought me close to a self-imposed non-existence before I hit an emotional and spiritual bottom deep enough to stop digging and get help. I found help in an organization with religious underpinnings, but one which allowed me to form my own conception of spirituality, and dare I say in these halls, God. I settled upon a concept which I carry with me today, one that has served me well, and one that I wish to share with you all. My higher power is not Eric. There's only one person I have an inkling of control over, and that's me, and my reactions, both external and internal, to everything that life could throw at me. That jerk who cut me off on the way to service, it's my higher power. The tyrannical machinations of the U.S. government, unfortunately, also my higher power. The hope and love and care expressed to me by my children and wife, also my higher power. The only thing I can control is my own reactions to this world around me. Now, this is not some magical absolvement of all duty simply because I cannot control, not Eric. No, it is a call to action and a call to arms, part of my spiritual journey, to react the right way and have a positive impact on everything and one around me, so that not Eric can quit screwing with my serenity. If you're struggling with your own conception of a higher power, I welcome you to the Not Eric cult anytime. I'd like to end this with a quote from Anthony DeMello, a Jesuit priest, psychotherapist, teacher, and public speaker, followed by a short quote by Epicurus, the Greek philosopher. Happiness is our natural state. Happiness is the natural state of little children, to whom the kingdom belongs until they have been polluted and contaminated by the stupidity of society and culture. To acquire happiness, you don't have to do anything, because happiness cannot be acquired. Does anybody know why? Because we already have it. How can you acquire what you already have? Then why don't you experience it? Because you've got to drop something. You've got to drop the illusions. You don't have to add anything in order to be happy. You've got to drop something. Life is easy. Life is delightful. It's only hard on your illusions, your ambitions, your greed, and your cravings. And from Epicurus, do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember, what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. I don't know about you, but I plan to enjoy my one wild and precious life today with just a bit more gratitude. I hope that you can as well. Thank you.
My name is Gretchen Fraser, and my pronouns are she and her. What is a plan? What makes sense to me does not necessarily make sense to you. What I plan, expect, hope for is unlikely to happen, especially if it involves my dog's behavior. Is it still a plan if I improvise upon it? I am ready to let go of expectations for my life. I am willing to be in this moment. I'm letting go of a plan in favor of living on dog time, which is to say, having a constant sense of time is optional. Do. To do sometimes takes over my days. To do parenting, teaching, breathing, loving, learning, crying, suffering, recovering, forgiving, understanding, boundary setting, music making, feeling, painting, repeating, reacting, hiking, cooking, fiddling, reading, truth-facing, leading, following. Is my dog walking me or am I walking him? Do every day, and one day doing will be done. With less doing comes more being. With family, strangers, protesters, musicians, myself, my child, and of course my dog, I will have being, more and more blessed being. My days are made of working and dancing to Madonna while baking a pie, and long conversations with magnetic fridge poetry. My favorite sound is the echo of my child's laughter in my ears. My mirror shows me nothing. One flower blooming is enough excitement for me. One chord is enough to resonate with me. One seat is taken every day. Wild dreams still float around me. Wild choices are behind me, I hope. Wild peace, growing free, is ahead of me. And a wild dog, if I forget to give him his meds. And I'm not afraid. And I looked to the horizon and saw that there will be nothing to lose. And I still hold on to every sunlit view of West Rock, every view of West Rock in fog, every view of West Rock in snow, every view of West Rock from the baseball field, every view of West Rock from the kitchen window, from the dog park. Precious things are plain things. Sunburned outdoor concerts, modern art museums, getting paid in cash for a gig, those are fancy things. Precious days are squandered to watching old Japanese films, drinking green tea with vegan marshmallows. Try it. Napping. Cleaning up dog hair. Precious memories are made here, and precious moments find their way into those days of doing. Life is unfolding. Life has yet to tell its secrets. Life, to me, is splendidly imbalanced imperfection.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Apfel. I am in my 70s in this wild and precious life of mine. This morning, I've been asked to consider what I plan to do with what remains of my one wild and precious life. In her poem, The Summer Day, Mary Oliver creates a scene that makes me feel like I'm right there in green fields of grass with her. She describes herself as idle and blessed. She strolls a deliberately slow-paced walk while she carefully studies her surroundings. She comments that she does not know exactly what prayer is, but she does know how to pay attention closely. She observes a grasshopper that has jumped into her palm and is eating sugar while she studies his complicated eyes. The reader is drawn into a peaceful scene full of harmony and contentment. She's taking life slowly, observing closely a delicate and beautiful insect, joyfully absorbing the many details of her surroundings. What an excellent way to seize the day and to not take it for granted. I want to live this way. I'm thinking gratefully about a different sort of meaningful times, social ones, when I'm with family and friends, enjoying their company, laughing at a story that's been told, or sharing a sad moment, listening to what has been happening in their lives, and making plans for a trip that we will share, or watching a good play, listening to a concert, or just being together. I will plan for times like that too. I am preparing to move from my home of the past 20 years to another state, Massachusetts, to live much closer to my family. The long drive to them is becoming more challenging to me. The time to admit this has come. And so too, it is a plan. It is a sensible plan for me. That doesn't make moving away from dear friends who are more like family to me any easier or less painful. However, I am looking forward to being more involved and helpful in my family's lives. Transporting grandchildren to their activities, Jack and Zoe, a responsibility that Aiden, the oldest, has had his senior year in high school, that he won't be able to do next year as he goes away to college. That's another plan that I have. Like Mary Oliver, I am unsure how to pray, but I'm certain that I know what a blessing is and how blessed I am. I am very grateful for the blessings I have experienced, particularly recently. I had a major health challenge. I had a stroke. I still find myself in disbelief that that happened to me. One minute I was fine, and the next I was not. Suddenly my right leg would not hold me up anymore, and I had trouble speaking. I was in the hospital getting ready to be discharged after having had another health procedure when a team of doctors at Yale decided I needed to have a pacemaker implanted. After that was accomplished, my body was behaving normally and seemed to be as it should. But then, something was terribly wrong. Instead of being discharged from the hospital, I was having more scans and IV drugs and other such things. It turns out I was fortunate to be in the right place at the right time. And over the next 48 hours, my leg became responsive to my attempts to move it, and I began to be able to speak coherently again. That was my miracle. I began to be able to walk the hospital corridors again and chat with the nurses. And then I discovered that I could even climb stairs easily, an impossibility just a few days before that. After excellent PT and OT at Gaylord for 2 weeks, I climbed back into my life and felt immense gratitude. One essential lesson I have learned from my health crisis is to never take the basics of life and health for granted, to value each moment of good health, to savor the days of life that bring us peace and joy, to love the people we share our lives with, and the time that we are given on this amazing planet. When Mary Oliver asks, "Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon?" The reminder is starkly honest. This precious life is limited. We are gifted with a time that cannot last forever. Sights that will not always be there, moments that will pass, people who will pass. I plan to embrace this moment that is my wild and precious life.
Hi, dear friends and fellow congregants. I'm Vicki Seitz, and I've been coming to USNH since 1995. I've been privileged to attend many wild and precious life services. I've always enjoyed what the really elderly had to say, and now that I've joined their ranks, I'll try to keep up the lofty tradition. One service that I particularly remember was when Jean Winchell, who was 87 at the time, said, "I thought when I got old, I was supposed to get wise. Well, I'm still waiting." I truly appreciate this sentiment now because I'm 84 and I'm still waiting too. I recently discovered the first step in thinking about how I want to spend my life is finding out how I don't want to spend it. Earlier this month, I allowed myself to be defrauded in a common phishing scam. The kind where an apparent delivery service, like the US Postal Service, seems to be notifying you they tried to deliver something but couldn't. To reschedule, you'll have to give them a credit or debit card to cover the redelivery fee. I know, that's not only a red flag, it's a huge blood red poster with loud sirens blaring at the same time. But I happened to be waiting for an important delivery, and I bit. The resulting learning experience has been taken almost 3 weeks, but the problem now seems resolved. And I'm happy to say I've learned a lot, not just about how I don't want to spend my life cleaning up my messes, but also how remarkably kind and helpful other people can be when you're trying to do this. These past few weeks have turned a spotlight for me onto our UU second principle, how we want to treat people fairly and kindly. I am deeply warmed and impressed by all the kindness I've experienced, both from strangers and friends. The Bank of America Fraud Squad is terrific. So is Wells Fargo and Chase. You don't want to know just how awful and stupid I was. Lately, I've started noticing, too, how kind many of the people that I know are. My nearest and dearest, who know me best, gave me a plastic emotional support pickle, which is to remind me what a big dill I am. They also gave me a soul supporter affirmation button for when I need reassurance.
Your friends are lucky to have you.
And isn't that nice? Whoops. I know that many of you who are listening also actively cultivate a kindness practice. Thank you for what you're doing for the world, and I plan to join you. Going back to wisdom for a moment, in Shakespeare's King Lear, the fool told the blind, mistreated former king, who had rashly given his kingdom to the worst possible people, "Thou shouldst not have been old till thou hadst been wise." I like to paraphrase this as, too soon old, too late smart. Age should bring wisdom based on the sheer number of learning experiences you get to have. Why doesn't it? I found an article in the New York Times last week where David Brooks talked about recent neuroscience findings. He explained why, as he put it, phenomenally smart persons
often do astoundingly stupid things. True wisdom needs more than just your intellect. It requires cultivating and using all your faculties, including your emotions, your values, and the wisdom of your body itself. If your body is sending you signals, pay attention. To borrow from this article still more, and to summarize, in my one wild and precious life, I want to continue to seek greater wisdom and dedicate my life to being as kind as possible. I'm doing this hoping it will help me move more gracefully along the pilgrimage of life. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know it is, and we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will, and we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah.
Please say with me the words that appear on your screen for passing the flame. Carry forth this chalice flame, its illumination into our daily lives, its sustaining warmth into our relationships, the light of reason shining beyond these walls. May we carry the fire of hope in our hearts this day and in the week to come.